What's up everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel. Today's project is this Toro lawnmower, and the problem is there's just a few small issues left to fix and then it'll be ready to mow. Hopefully it was worth the cost. Let's take a good look at it, find out what's wrong with it, and hopefully we can fix it. In this video we try and repair this mower, however it may not be the exact repair that you need to make to yours. We'll explore other options later in the video. If you missed the previous videos on this mower, well, I found this mower free on the curb, and the information that was on it was that it needed a new blade and that the self-propel didn't work. Well, the truth was that there was way more wrong with it than just those two items. When the blade was damaged, the blade adapter was also broken, so that needed to be replaced, along with a missing stock blade support. A belt was the only thing it needed for the self-propelled to work again, and in this video I'll be installing the last few things this mower needs, and then I'll add up all the parts to see if this mower was even worth fixing. So this is a new 22-inch commercial mulching blade that fits this blade adapter. Now shipped to my door it was only $15, and this blade adapter also needed a support that was missing because it was previously using a universal blade and adapter. Now I already had this support in my stock, but if I had to buy it new it would have been $10. Now the next thing I needed to address was the battery for the electric start. Now this is the original battery that came with the mower, and surprisingly it still works. I did have to solder wires to the terminals because they were damaged, but it should still work. Now the wire colors are wrong, but they should work for now until the battery dies and I have to replace it. So when I first got this mower, the battery door was missing, so the compartment was completely filled with grass clippings. Now the battery door is very inexpensive, but when I was looking for it, it was out of stock. Now it's just a piece of plastic, so I decided to make one from an old chute I had lying around. Now if I had to order one, it would have been around $9. Now this should work well enough, but if it lets a lot of grass clippings into the area, I will buy the real door. So the last thing I want to fix is the self-propel handle. Now if you use it as is, I don't think you could tell that there's a problem with it, but if you take a closer look, the handle isn't returning to its upper position. Now if you look under the handle, the problem seems to be a return spring. One of the legs of the spring that attaches to the fixed part of the handle is broken. Now I know I could unwind the end of the spring and bend it to make a new leg, but I'm worried that it'll just break off again, so I'd rather just replace it. So here is the replacement spring, and it was only $9, so replacing it just makes sense compared to making the broken one work. Now the hard part though is removing the broken part. The metal rod that it's on is very thick and extremely difficult to flex and remove the end from the handle. I do have an idea though to get the rod out. First I'm going to put the handle close to my fence gate. Then I'm going to need to put two 4x4s against the handle and the edge of the gate for added working room for a ratchet. Anchor the ratchet to the nearest post and then hook the other end to the rod and start ratcheting. Now that the bar is out of the handle, I can remove the broken spring and replace it. After that, I'll put the bar back into place and then release the ratchet. To install the spring, put the leg into the hole above the handle and then put some tension on the spring when you put the curved end of the spring around the other part of the bar. Now press the handle up and down a couple of times and it should spring all the way back up. The last thing I want to address is a cosmetic issue. The pull rope is kind of relaxed, so there's some slack in the line. The problem is the anchor for the handle is loose, so it's not holding the rope under any tension. The fix is to just put the anchor into the correct position and then tighten the bolt that holds it. After that, I'm finally ready to try and start it. Now I know the pull rope works, so let's try using the key start this time. So it started and ran, but there was a slight problem. The key start worked, but when I initially turned the key, the starter turned the engine once and then it stopped. I had to turn the key again and the engine turned over like it was supposed to, and then the engine started. Now, there are a couple of reasons why I would do this, and the first is that the battery may not be fully charged. Now, luckily, the previous owner included the original charger, so I'll charge the battery for a few hours and try starting it again and see if it starts normally. Another reason why your starter didn't start the engine on the first turn is that the valve lash might need an adjustment. However, both of these topics will be addressed in a different video. The last thing I want to put on this mower is the bag. Really, the only thing that didn't come with this free mower was the owner's manual and the box it came in from the store. Now, there is one more thing that's missing on this mower. On the front edge of the deck, there's supposed to be a plastic bumper that protects it, and as you can see, it's completely gone. I can safely guess that there was something in the yard that the mower was bumped into almost every time it was used, till finally one day it broke and had to be removed. Now, if this part were to be replaced, it'd be about $11. Now, this part isn't necessary, so I will not be replacing it. The parts needed for this project were a blade, which was $15, the blade adapter, which was also $15, the self-propel belt, which was $9, the battery cover, which would have been around $9, and the spring was $9 as well, and the blade support would have been $10. Now, the total of all the parts I needed was $67. However, I only had to buy the blade and the spring, as either I had the other parts on hand or I made them. So I really only paid $24. Now, if this was sent to a repair shop, I could imagine the bill being around $200. Aside from the battery issue and the possibility of needing a valve adjustment, this has to be one of the best free mowers I've ever fixed. Most of the time I get them, they're pretty much worn out, and the cost of parts is almost as much as the value of a running mower. Now, this mower was almost $450 brand new, and with a small investment, every important feature is working like it should. So my question is, how would you have removed the bar that the return spring was attached to? I had to use a ratchet strap to help me remove it, but would you have tried to just muscle it out, or maybe use a pry bar? Or would you have just tried to fix what was left of the old spring instead of trying to replace it? I'd like to know if you thought I was wasting my time and my money. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask any questions, and I hope to see you in my next video.